Alright, so this is not a video review. This is actually a Transformers toy restoration video that I've been trying to work on for the longest of time, but due to the fact that new products were coming out and I had to put a lot of time and effort into acquiring this stuff, I had to put this figure on the shelf, and now the time has finally come. If you saw my very old video on the Godfire Convoy Encore set, you would know that this figure has become quite a mess because I tried a little bit of some restoration to him previous to that video review and it got butchered pretty bad by the Retro Bright. So this is me trying to correct this figure at long last, and I'm talking about Ultra Magnus here. I'm not really talking about this RID Optimus Prime here, even though he is a figure that I do want to work on later on. But as it stands right now, he's okay for the moment, minus a little bit of some cracking here at the back of his leg. But he still holds up pretty well. But he's a figure for another time, depending on how well this video actually goes here. Whether or not I was going to do GoBot first or Ultra Magnus was the debate. But, you know, if I'm coming out of the gate, I'm going to come out of it pretty strong. And we're going to work on a figure that's going to take a little time and effort to, you know, restore back to a pristine condition. Or if anything, close to that. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm just going to go ahead and break down this figure from the parts that we could use or what has to be thrown away because it's no good. And the first thing that I do want to mention is that I had to buy an entire brand new cannon. This is no good. As you can see, the plastic on this is pretty faded, minus the missiles here that never got the Retro Bright treatment, didn't need it. I don't exactly remember what happened, but it had something to do with it getting too close to the chemicals I was using, and it faded the plastic pretty bad. As you can see, there's no restoring this whatsoever. I was going to try something like Wipe New, which does work on a couple of things, but that's something that would not work for this, so I'm not going to try. This part here looks pretty good. It doesn't look like it actually got any sun discoloration here or anything like that, so I could probably use this piece, but trying to get this off here might be a little bit of a challenge because that screw is actually pretty stripped in there, and I don't think I'll be able to remove any of this. So anyway, the purpose of this is just to show you what this was, okay? This is not any good. This target scope here might be something I could still salvage, but I'm not so sure about that. Now that I look at it, it does look a little faded. So yeah, this is a mess here. So I can't use any of this. But I can use the missiles because they're still pretty white. They're not yellowing. So there's some good news. So there's something that I can use. So alright, let's break down the figure now. And the first thing I want to do is remove the legs on the figure. So we'll put those aside for a moment because I actually want to get to the chrome bit here for the bumper and the grill. And as you can see, the only thing that's really salvageable on this set here is just the gold Autobot symbol and maybe even the grill piece here. The Autobot symbol, I can just remove this screw here because it doesn't seem to be too stripped. So it looks like it's got a little bit of some catch. So that's some good news. I can remove the Autobot symbol. Anything else on this, I don't think I'll be able to use because you can see that the chrome paint here, or the blue, it's pretty much faded in. I mean, it's still in good condition. As you can see, it's not floppy at all. Nowhere. The hinges are pretty tight on it. Maybe I can use it for a customization later on. Maybe just repaint this whole entire thing. You know, I have the option of switching it out with a non-chrome piece. That would be something, right? So we'll put this for now in the maybe pile. Why not? So let's talk about his arms now. As I go ahead and pop this piece off here. Well, okay, maybe I can't pop this off. Let's talk about these forearm pieces. The only thing that I can really salvage here is just this hand. So, yeah, this did not get any Retro Bright treatment, so this is still in pretty good condition, minus the dust that's on it that I can wipe off using Super Clean and all that. Let's see if there's anything on the inside here that can be salvaged. And as you can see, this, yeah, that's ready to go. You can tell by the sound of that. That didn't sound good at all, and if you wanted to know what I was doing, I was trying to retrieve this piece here, and this actually looks pretty good. So the actual forearm connection, or should I say his elbow joint, does look like it has survived, so, you know, we'll put it right there for now. Now let's talk about his hand here, Omega Prime's hand. So this piece right here was not put in the sun at all, no retro bright whatsoever, so that can be used. There we go, there's some good news. And the wheels are actually in pretty good condition as well. There's no splitting, no cracking. As you can see, it's still very flexible here for being rubber pieces. That's very old at this point, but they are still in great condition. So there's some good news. We got some parts that I can use there. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and put that right there, because I'm sure I'm going to use it eventually. So this piece here, not going to be able to do anything with it. It's pretty yellowed. The retro bright didn't work, and as you can see, the pins here are very rusted, and it's just leading to cracking and splitting in the plastic. It's no good. And especially these chrome bits. Well, what was chrome? Yeah, I don't even know how that chrome survived. No good. Alright, so that hand's good. So we got some good parts going on here. So let's go to the other hand here. Let's go ahead and remove these tires, because we can always use these for spares when the other figure gets here. That's another used figure that's in a pretty better shape than this Ultra Magnus, honestly. So yeah, we'll remove this hand as well, as it is just dirty, that's all. And we'll open this up now. And I guess we can use this elbow joint, because once again, looks pretty nice. Doesn't seem to be any fading of the color, so let's put that over there. And we'll remove this entire piece here. So there we go. We got some pretty good hands for Omega Prime's combination. And this is unsalvageable, so no good there. Alright, now if I can try and get these off here, which I don't think it really matters if I break the figure any longer. So there we go. Alright, so if I can get this one off here, we'll put that in the salvage pile. Pop right out of there. There we go. Yeah, that's still pretty good. We can use that, especially if they're still tight. Let's go ahead and put that back on, because I'm very sure, if I'm not mistaken, this two pieces here, these rib bits, are actually removable. I have removed them before. I'm sure these pieces actually came off before. They're on hinges, so yeah, they should be able to come out. Because I remember these popping off when I combined the figure into Omega Prime every now and then. So these were not given the retro bright treatment. The chrome is still in place. As you can see, it's not scratched up or chipping. The tires are pretty nice, not splitting or cracking. Doesn't show any age awareness on them. So there we go. Just get this one off now. Pop it, and once again, pretty nice condition. There we go. We can use that. Oh, let's see. This chest piece here, looks alright, doesn't it? Doesn't look like there's any fade. I can't get it out at the moment because it is pinned down here, so I would have to get my pin tools to get that out. So I want to keep it, but in the meantime, we'll just have to leave it on the figure here. So there you have that. As for Omega Prime's head, it was not retro brighted, so we can actually pop this off. It is a ball joint, like so. There we go. And depending on the other Ultra Magnus figure that comes in, I'll be checking over that Omega Prime head to see which one's the better one. But as it stands right now, I still want to use this one because it does look pretty clean. Doesn't seem to be any chipping to the chrome bits on the ears. They seem to be pretty tight still. The screw is still intact. It's not stripping. And the paint job is still pretty clean on this guy. So yeah, there we go. That's something good. Let's go ahead and pop this off if we can. I might have to unscrew it. Nope, never mind. It does come off, as the ball joint is the neck. So, looks alright. Just a little dirty. Screw's still intact. Not stripping down. Nice chrome eyes. No chipping there. So yeah, I think this is still salvageable. There we go. As for everything else on this figure here, or at least for the torso, I don't think I can use any of this minus the batteries, because as you can see, they still have some life to them, so I will be removing those, and everything else here is pretty much done for, except for maybe the window, because the window still looks like it's pretty clean. I think I did remove this when I was doing the whole retro bright thing, so it should still be intact. So if I can get this plastic bit out here, I will do that. Depends whether or not the figure that comes in actually has a problem here. Like if the windows are cracked or something, then I've got this to replace it with. What can be salvaged on Ultra Magnus legs? Well, a good chunk of it actually. As a matter of fact, the only thing that really needs to be disposed of would have to be just the this section here. That's it. The Autobot symbols are gone, well, faded, and this one is actually completely gone. And it's actually pretty bleached, and there's still some yellowing here at this section. So yeah, Retro Bright wasn't very kind to this piece. Everything else here seems to be intact, as I did not give this any Retro Bright treatment. There's no reason to do such a thing because it's not white plastic, but yeah, it's something that I can definitely hold on to just in case. I just have to get this pin out here. And this leg is pretty much the same deal. As you see, we don't have much of a problem except for just this piece here. This has to go. Everything else seems to be in pretty good condition, especially Omega's Prime's feet. They're still pretty tight. Actually, I didn't test this one. Yeah, this one is definitely tight. This still actually works out pretty well. It still swivels and all that, so I can definitely use that. But these two pieces here, the gray ones, have to go. But other than that, there's your parts that I can actually clean up and salvage on the guy. So it's a good chunk, actually, when you think about it. The only real problem with the figure that cannot be salvaged is just this entire body section here, minus the window, because I do want to kind of get that out. The forearm pieces are absolutely shot. And the cannon. I mean, I would love to save the springs, but I really think I've got a pretty good deal here with the guy from TFW who's sending me a brand new replacement, the entire cannon and everything, minus the 2 missiles. So, with the 2 missiles still here in the restoration pile somewhere, I'm in pretty good business as it is. All that can be thrown away, especially these 2 bits when I get these off, but everything else here is something that I was really hoping that I could spare. Going through the results of this, I have a lot of parts that I can use for my other Ultra Magnus figure when he gets here. Because, like I said, the whole reason to do this restoration is to reconstruct my RID collection. Hopefully I'll be able to get started on this restoration, but it all depends on how soon the other Magnus figure gets here, so I can start checking up on that figure and see what can be salvaged and what, you know, could be the better piece to use for the guy, because there's a lot to go, you know, going through all this. There's a lot to go through with the other figure and comparing what's loose, what's tight, what's better here, what looks like it's about to break, and what I just can't flat out use anymore. So this is gonna be a really fun video, I'm sure of it. And this has been actually pretty long, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up here because, again, this isn't really where it all begins. It all begins when I can actually get started on this little project, and we'll see how far this actually goes, because I'd love to do an entire series of restoring Transformer action figures, even figures I may not own. I may actually ask you guys to send them to me, and I'll see what I can do to fix them for you. But that all depends on how well this actually goes. But in the meantime, I got some cleaning up to do on these parts, and that's a good way to get this started. So if you have any questions or comments, you know to do, hit it down below in the comment section of the video. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button. Don't forget to give me a sub up. Until next time, guys, this is your unprofessional toy reviewer, Red is Power, signing off, saying thank you very much for watching this.